Okinomiya Prefecture. Okinomiya Police Station. I fucking hate Oishi. He's such a son of a bitch. He's probably still a fucking asshole in this game. Shishibone City was, as far as provincial cities went, rather behind the times. Provincial cities. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Not important. Okinomiya, recessed in the mountains, was even more remote. With little change between the seasons, all that was left was the tepid passing of time. It made for a rather drab town. There were no tourist attractions or local delicacies. Well, there's a fucking maid cafe. I'd go to that. Angel Mart. Fuck yeah. If it's built yet. I'd still go to it. I wouldn't care. Without even a strong regional industry, it was simply dull. Just looking at the monotonous and peaceful townscape, it was hard to catch a glimpse of the radical resistance of the Onogafuchi Defense Alliance. The atmosphere of boredom didn't hint of the Okinomiya police station being on the front lines of the dam conflict, nor of the numerous incidences that I heard about at the prefectural headquarters. Good morning. Are you here to pay a fine? No, I have an appointment. God, ooh. Oh, wrong kind of fine. Oh, I think. Probably. I don't know. You could probably spell like that. Then, to be fair, how else would you spell fine? True. Whoops. Strange. I guess that is how you spell fine. That's weird. I never actually thought about that. Huh. Interesting. No, I have an apartment with Motodai from the Public Safety Division. Please tell him it's Akasaka. My apologies. Please wait a moment. The clerk, who thought I was here for a parking violation at first glance, after fumbling with the unfamiliar extension number, told the person on the line that he had a visitor. Welcome. Akasaka, was it? It must have been a thrilling traveling out all this way. Sorry we have to do this here. I tried to reserve a reception room, you see. But the counselor suddenly woke up and chased me out. Ha ha ha. I would hesitate to call where we were a conference room, as it was very small and cluttered. The cramped space was packed with lockers. I had the impression that it was more of a changing room that doubled as one for smoking. Listening to the crude chortles, I didn't get much of a feeling that Motodai, who was head of the local public safety division, was much of an intellectual. But I knew that in exchange he had both experience and absolute confidence in his instincts. I'll apologize for interrupting you during such a busy time. I'm Akasaka from the Metropolitan Police Department. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Motodai from the Public Safety Division. Nice to meet you. I was threatened by Senkai from the prefectural gangbusters to be generous with my cooperation. Ha ha ha. Gangbusters? You mean the prefectural crime prevention division? You see, we're treating the Onogafuchi Defense Alliance as an extension of the local Yakuza. You'd have to be a newbie if you think they're just a residential protest group. Ha ha ha. They said at the prefectural office too that the Onogafuchi Defense Alliance was linked to the local mob. If I recall correctly, the adopted son of somebody influential was a lieutenant in that gang. It's the other way around. The complete opposite. The Yakuza put up the protest group as a front to justify their actions. Just think of it like that. Completely the other way around. Ha ha ha. Motodai was just about rolling with laughter. This was slightly different than the info given to me at the prefecture office, but somebody embedded locally would be more knowledgeable. Probably not. While we were talking, occasionally some people who seemed to be detectives would come in and change. One of those individuals, noticing Motodai's guafs, came up to us. Oh, God damn it! He looks the fucking same. Oh, I was wondering what you guys were talking about. Oh, Cora. Perfect timing. Why don't you join us? This here is Inspector Akasa, who came all the way from the Tokyo Police Department. An inspector? I'm still a rookie. My name is Akasa. Pleased to meet you. Or it must be nice to be so fresh-faced. Did they hire you this year? I couldn't help but think I was being ridiculed, so I only responded with a forced smile. Still the same old prick that you used to be. I could tell that this new person was like Motodai, the type who had confidence in their instincts and experience, but was a complete fucking dumbass. I really didn't like these types of people. Let me introduce you, Akasa. This is Oishi, from our investigation department. Regarding the S-file you were talking about, he's familiar with it. S-file? S for Sonozaki. If something in it is an S-file, it means it has something to do with the Sonozaki family. It's something of a code name. Sonozaki. Come to think of it, I remember when I was poring over the documents at headquarters, there were quite a few people with the last name of Sonozaki popping up. If I remember right, there's a Sonozaki who is one of the executives in the Onagafuchi Defense Alliance. Pretty sure they're the treasurer. The two of them were surprised when I rattled off the web post that Sonozaki held. After a moment, both of them erupted into laughter. Akasa, was it? You're quite the sturdiest one. Could it be you've memorized all the central figures in the Alliance? I wouldn't say memorized exactly, but I've at least read the list of Onagafuchi Defense Alliance executives. Then who are the president and vice president? The president is the mayor of Hinamizawa, Kei Kimiyoshi. The vice president is the priest of the local shrine, Furude. The treasurer is Sonozaki. The auditor is Makino. The liaison is Y Kimiyoshi. The PR head is Y Sonozaki. Akasa, you're pretty good. The pay sucks, but you wanted to work here? You're just the type we're looking for. By the way, Yoshio Sonozaki is the head of the youth department. So close. The head of the public relations actually Tadayoshi Sonozaki. Feeling I was being complimented at all. Feeling like I wasn't being complimented at all, I started settling into an uncomfortable mood. However, I was becoming more and more aware that I was the weakest link in this investigation, so I just had to bear with it. I didn't mean for that feeling to show up on my face, but the crafty detectives didn't let that slip by. I didn't mean to make fun of you. To make up for it, why don't I show you around the village? For somebody with no feel for the area like me, it would be a great help. I couldn't have asked for more. In the end, the Onagafuchi Defense Alliance is nothing more than an alias Hinamizawa is using to deal with the outside world. I think getting to know the village would speed up your work. How about it? The residential movement, in other words, held influence over the whole region. So the leader of the movement was the leader of that influence. Just like that, the thought processes in the region would become the overall personality of the movement. Just like Oishi had said, in order to learn what they were really like, this regional force behind the dam protest, getting to know the village was the quickest way. If you would. Nodding back without skipping a beat, Oishi laughed in satisfaction, Jesus Christ, and stood up. If I took the information I learned at the prefectural office and from Motodai to heart, if my position was exposed, my personal safety was at risk. The opponent was an extremist group that had no qualms about using threats or violence against somebody. If my personal info was leaked, it wouldn't be hard to imagine that I'd be in danger, whether on the job or not. Thinking that, I felt a little nervous. These guys are quick to remember faces. If you're seen with them, they'll probably do a lot to hinder your work. This might be a little cliche, but put these on. Oishi handed me an incredibly suspicious disguise, comprised of a baseball cap, sunglasses, and a mask. I didn't want to get all hot and stuffy, but Oishi's warning was probably right on the money. Considering that, I put them on with appreciation. I looked so suspicious that Oishi had to smile wryly. How much did I tell you again? Let's see. To the part where you were talking about how these three ancient families control the village. The Onagafuji Defense Alliance was the same as the village of Hinamizawa itself, meaning there was a direct correlation between being an executive in the alliance and being a leader in the village, as Motodai had told me a short time ago. If the village was ruled by three ancient families, then it would mean that Onagafuji Defense Alliance was ruled by those same three families. What did the documents at the prefecture office say? About the leader of the Defense Alliance or whatnot? Fuck me. The documents I was using were classified. If I responded to Oishi's question, it would be a breach of security. However, most likely, this man I judged was more well versed in the situation than any of the documents at the prefectural police department, so I decided to answer him. That the president of the alliance is the current mayor of the village, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. Oishi, upon hearing that, let out a small chuckle. For him to ask like that, and to laugh at the answer as it was recorded in the documents, meant that wasn't the case in reality. So then, that means there's somebody else other than Kimiyoshi behind the scenes, contrary to what the prefectural office thinks, or rather what is commonly known. Old man Kimiyoshi is nothing more than a figurehead. In the first place, the post of mayor in the village is nothing more than ceremonial. In other words, there's something else in charge of both the alliance and the village. Would that be the three families you were just talking about? Well, I'll explain that part right now. All of a sudden, with a thunk, the car suddenly lurched. The paved road had given way to a gravel one. At the same time, the scenery outside the window changed. The Hinamizawa Dam project must be withdrawn. Overthrow the shameless puppet of a governor. The dam will submerge the natural beauty of Hinamizawa. Protect the village from the unethical dam. Fear the wrath of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Demolish the dam, those involved must go away. The construction office must respond. The office manager must negotiate with us. Signs and banners crowded the roadside. Even reading the brush-scrawled words was daunting. It was as though where the road just changed was a border with a different country. At that moment, I was startled by the car suddenly braking. Looking ahead, a barricade had been erected. About 5 or 6 protesters, wearing masks and helmets, hid their faces, were blocking the road, yelling at us angrily to stop. Hell yeah. See, this is why you need to act like a tourist. Or, just someone, like a new person moving in or something. Like, I'm thinking of bringing my family to this wonderful, peaceful village. My wife currently is in the hospital, getting ready to give birth and, all that stuff. But we're thinking about moving here afterwards. You just need to pull that card. Easy in, easy out. What is this? A checkpoint? These guys never learn. Oichi pulls out a fucking gun and starts fucking firing off shots. Get the fuck out of the way. Oichi snorted as he rolled down this window and leaned out. Hey, you guys. You can't be blocking the road like this here. As Oishi glared at them with a malicious laugh, they visibly faltered. Clear the way. We can't get by like this. Who would have thought it was Oishi's car? That panicked thought seemed to make them lose their presence of mind. If we had known that it was your car, Detective Oishi, we wouldn't have been so rude. Detective, what happened to your usual car? Is it in for maintenance? Something like that. I just can't get used to this car they loaned me. Judging from their brief conversation, I would guess they were familiar with the license plate of the car Oishi normally used. In other words, if they knew the car belonged to the police, they would have hidden the barricade. What they were doing was obviously obstruction of traffic. A blatant crime. Who's that suspicious guy? You! Could you show us your face? The man glared at me menacingly. Wearing a mask and sunglasses made me look particularly dubious. Would not showing my face get me into some unnecessary trouble? I turned to Oishi to see what I should do. Nothing. Give him a break. He's still a little shy little rookie. We just wanted to make sure he wasn't anybody suspicious. Hinamizawa has been in a bit of a stir as of late. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? That mask you're wearing is way more suspicious. The man and Oishi continued to talk like that, feigning smiles at one another. However, from the beginning to the end, I couldn't get over the feeling I was sitting on a powder keg. Has the number of trucks illegally dumping still not decreased? It's a real hassle dealing with it all the time. If the police could understand and cooperate, it would really help. During that conversation, the barricade was moved, leaving a gap wide enough for a single car to get through. Oishi lightly honked the horn once and began to roll the car forward. I could see the men's antagonistic glares at the back of the car in the rearview mirror. What was that just now? Blocking a public road like that. Of course it's a crime. Still, if you get worked up over that, it'll never end. Those guys claim there's an infestation of trucks illegally dumping in the village. Their story goes that in order to stop that, they're halting suspicious vehicles for inspection. Illegal dumping? Like corrupt contractors just tossing industrial waste away? Their line of argument is that if the police aren't going to do anything about it, they'll take matters into their own hands. Well, the industrial waste is just something they're doing by themselves anyways. By themselves. They have a pretty good strategy. You see, in order to hinder construction, they've spread industrial waste over by the dam site. Then, blaming it on corrupt contractors, they start insinuating these instituting these inspections. There, they stop every construction vehicle coming through and interfere with them as much as possible. So, then if it's one of the methods the Yonagafuji Defense Alliance is using. With that inspection just now, this car's license plate has probably been recorded. It shouldn't get stopped from here on out. Those guys know very well not to get me angry. See, rumor is that if they figure a car is related to the construction in some way, not only would there be checkpoints stopping it at every turn, but they'd be throwing rocks and planting road spikes as well. It's best you be careful so you're not identified. If they find out you're from the public safety, who knows what you'll suffer through. Oishi was acting like we were talking about something fun, but for me it was no laughing matter. See, he's going about this all wrong. You just need to act like a fucking tourist, and you're good. Or someone looking at an area to buy for your family. You know, that kind of thing. It almost feels like we've wandered into a civil war in the Middle East. That's a good way of putting it. It's pretty much just what you said. Oishi turned to me with a grin and menacing laugh. You see, this here's a war zone. The car slowed down a bit as it went down a narrow road through some farmland. You see that house in that forest over there? That antiquated one. Looking at where Oishi was pointing, there certainly was an old traditionally designed house. That belongs to the mayor, old man Kimiyoshi. You could say it belongs to the main Kimiyoshi house as well. There's a lot of branches, but they'd be one of the three families. The ancient families that control Hinamizawa. That's right. And one of the others is the Furude family. Their house doesn't even have a single branch at all. That's left is the head priest family. Right over there, there's the shrine. He's the priest there. By the way, the Defense Alliance office is on the grounds of that shrine. The office of the Onagafuchi Defense Alliance. If these guys were the enemy, that would make the shrine their stronghold. Can we go look over there? The shrine is the Furude family's private property, you see. Being police, we can't set foot there without a warrant. See, they've got a member of the Diet with ties to the village backing them up. Basically, being the police has its strengths and weaknesses. Well, even when we talk about the three families, that's something from a long time ago. Way back when those three families used to hold councils to decide things about the village. Meaning it's different now? You've got a pretty good nose. That's what I expect from an academic. Oh. The car braked to a halt with a squeal. Ahead of where we were stopped were several signs. Private property beyond, no trespassing. Beware of poisonous snakes, the Sonozaki main house. Danger, turn back. Intruders will be charged an entry fee of 1 million yen. Signs were erected here with things like that written on them. The road was separated from the forest by a chain link fence wrapped in barbed wire. Since this is private property, this is as far as we go. There's several surveillance cameras set up further in. Saying that we just got lost won't work with these guys. They're beyond here, right? The people currently controlling Hinamizawa and the Onagafuchi family alliance were neither the Kimiyoshi family nor the Furude family, but the last of the three. Yeah. Beyond here is one of the three families, the Sonozaki family. They're the ones controlling Hinamizawa from the shadows. Among the list of executives recorded in the documents, the number of people with the last names from the three families was quite high. Of course, Sonozaki was no exception. However, at the top was the Kimiyoshi family. If the Kimiyoshi family seemed to be in charge, the rulers behind the scenes were the Sonozaki family. This double-layered structure implicitly told me that this village had both a light and dark side. The current head of the Sonozaki family is an old lady named Oryu. She has enough clout that you could call her Empress Sonozaki. Be careful, she's no small fry. She's enough of a VIP that even the mayor of the city has to bow before her. Well, in Hinamizawa and the surrounding area, their relatives amount to a block of several thousand votes. No politician would show disrespect for that. Are you kidding? I'd show more respect to Mio than her. For obvious reasons. In other words, that would make her the actual leader of the Onagafuchi Defense Alliance, right? You've got it. With those words, Oishi pulled out a well-worn cigarette box. The suspect kidnapping of the minister's grandchild and subsequent threats. Were these parts of the hidden plot by the Onagafuchi Defense Alliance in order to have the Hinamizawa Dam project cancelled? Probably. You came all the way from Tokyo to investigate this, didn't you? Huh? Oh, yeah. That's right. Something the matter? No, then... Is it related to that direct appeal incident with Minister Inugai? If that's the case, then public safety has them marked on a watch list. Something like that? Having you guess that so quickly makes this easy. While exhaling out cigarette smoke, Oishi smiled broadly, like I'd just pulled a good one on him. Or so I thought. His smile disappeared suddenly. That's a lie, isn't it? Huh? I mean the direct appeal, putting them on a watch list. That's a lie, isn't it? Maybe? Oishi knew there was no way that Tokyo HQ would dispatch an investigator over something as minor as a direct appeal. If they were to dispatch someone, it had to be for a more dire reason. He had figured out as much. Fuck Oishi, though. He's a bastard. I thought of myself as the type of person who doesn't let things show on their face. In front of his watchful gaze, however, I felt that what I was thinking was completely laid bare. Oishi silently lit another cigarette as if waiting for me to interject during this awkward pause. I see. So this was a veteran detective's way of getting someone to spill information. wait him out. But as long as I realized this, there would be nothing more. If I didn't open my mouth, I wouldn't have to lose anything. All I had to do was stare out the window and enjoy the scenery until Oishi gave up. Oh. You really are bad at hiding things, you know. Being so young and earnest isn't so bad. Oishi smirked as he twisted out his third cigarette, while I tried not to let him notice that I had yielded completely. At first I thought I had won, but at the very least Oishi had asserted that I was hiding something, meaning that I might have ended up marching to his tune. Oishi started up the engine once again and began to move the car. If you'd just be honest with me, I thought I might have been able to help you. How would you help? If the cat was out of the bag, I might as well use it to catch some mice. Well, this depends on what we're talking about. I might not be able to set you up with someone who's knowledgeable about the going-ons in Hinamizawa. An informant? Oh, I see it. Is that what you call it? Why are you interested in my case, Oishi? Well, I'm the same as you. Isn't it our business to know things? Being able to meet with Oishi's informant was an extremely compelling opportunity. We were looking at a recruit, somebody familiar with the area, to collaborate with for intelligence. In the end, there was no better method for finding people than asking. We were always taught, however, that the rank-and-file police were no better than monkeys. Unlike us, they were careless with confidential cases. We looked down on them, like they'd run their mouths off in a drunken stupor. Oishi would. Oishi was an outlaw even amongst them, and here I was, lost on whether or not I should tell him about the kidnapping of the minister's grandson. This informant, exactly how knowledgeable are they about the Onikafuchi Defense Alliance? If you're from the public safety, you'd know, wouldn't you? Something like that is something I can't just tell you. Protect your sources. That was for the first principle of dealing with confidential information. In that regard, it seemed that Oishi wasn't one of these monkeys. Should I trust him, ask for his help or not? Fuck his ass. It's just that you work for the feds and I work for the prefecture. I don't think that our jobs are that different. I think I can be of help. However, I had trouble believing that this crafty old man would simply help me with just like he claimed. I find it hard to believe that someone of your standing would help me out without strings attached. Well, it's not like I'm completely without an ulterior motive. As I recall, you guys have space in your budget allocated to pay informants, right? Something you don't need to submit a receipt for. Oh my god, you're a fucking corrupt piece of shit.